everyone, welcome to my podcast. I'm your host, Eloisa. We have two very talented guests. Joining us are two amazing fighters. Please join me in welcoming Jake and Danilo.
I'm Danilo Marques from Brazil. I'm an MMA fighter a long time.
I'm Jake Babian. I'm from Hawaii. I'm also a pro MMA fighter.
How long have you been fighting competitively?
3 years as an MMA fighter, but a couple years jiu-jitsu since 2018.
I think my first fight was boxing. I was 12 years old. I'm 38. Yeah, in Brazil.
What is your most memorable fight and why?
I think my first fight in UFC was in Abu Dhabi against a Russian guy, very tough guy.
How about you, Jake? Most memorable?
First amateur MMA fight. We had party buses, packed out. And it was just a fun event for, everybody.
How long have you been fighting competitively, Jake?
3 years as an MMA fighter, but a couple years jiu-jitsu since 2018.
I think my first fight was boxing. I was 12 years old. I'm 38. Yeah, in Brazil, long time ago.
Danilo Osmar is a good coach.
Yes, he's a good person.
Yes.
First,
He's fun.
He's fun, yeah. He's a warrior.
What's the best thing he taught you?
I like his pads, I like his training, but to be honest, I like be with him, especially in fight week. Osmar always support mental, and he always have something good to say,
He's a good part of your team.
He always supporting. That's the best part for me.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
How about your coach? Who's your favorite, and what's the best thing they've taught you?
Yeah, my coach, Weil Watson, first of all, he really took the initiative to help me finesse my striking, blending my takedowns and stuff. He's been a pioneer of the sport as well, and my utmost respect for him. It's good to have a coach that you can have access to 24/7, be able to call, help me with my meals. Just very versatile.
How did you get your name, the Barbarian Contract Killer?
Oh yeah, that was so during my jiu-jitsu era, it was Jake the Snake, and then as I transitioned out here, as I got older, then I started kind of looking at different names, and my last name Babian, which is Armenian, has an Armenian origin. My dad always just called me Barbabian, which was kind of like the barbarian, a spin-off of that. It's the only original thing.
Yeah. Do you have a nickname?
No.
They all
try
those years?
to. Yes, Marques is fine. My last name, Danilo Marques. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. What is your most memorable fight and why?
I think my first fight in UFC.
Very first?
Yeah, the first one was in Abu Dhabi against a Russian guy, very tough guy. Because I signed up with UFC in 2018. Then I broke my hand. I got almost 80 months to come back. My manager tried to hold the contract, but they released me. They said, unfortunately, we can't wait. We have a lot other guys waiting for the opportunity. I understand. Then in 2019, I signed again in the beginning of the year.
With UFC?
Yes. For some reason, they applied for my visa, but that was a long time. My fight was 1 year and a half ago.
Oh, it expired.
Yeah, no, they said I'm not able to get a new visa because I'm a long time I don't compete. I have to compete before in my country, then to come back here.
Oh.
In that time it was a P1A visa, work visa. Then UFC released me again. They said, I'm sorry, we tried. Then the pandemic came. UFC did a big, huge show, the first one in the middle of the pandemic in Abu Dhabi. And a friend of mine, who is a legend from Mauricio Shogun Rua, then he invited me to be in the corner. We always work together. And he said, Danilo, if you go to Mexico from Brazil, after we finish here, we go to Brazil because we already have the visa to work here in Abu Dhabi. So go to Mexico, stay 15 days. In the day number 16, you can fly to America. And we used to come here to train with Master Cordeiro in Kings MMA since 2010, 2011. Mickey called me when I called here 2 days after. He called me, hey Danilo, I have an opportunity for you in Abu Dhabi.
6 days before the fight?
6 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I flogged to Las Vegas. Stay in Las Vegas 2 days, quarantine inside the room. Then we fly to Abu Dhabi, stay in the same hotel. I knew everybody because it was the same crew, the employers. Yeah. Then I fought, I won. It was a really tough one, 3 rounds. So make the fight and the situation behind, and very special. And I always remember I have to be true, to pass through this stuff. It's like, but this moment for me was the toughest moment. Was the
most memorable.
Yes, for sure.
Your first.
Yeah, first fight in UFC. For sure.
I'm sure that was exciting.
Yes, I was waiting for this a long time, since his age.
How old were you?
33.
Wow.
Almost 34.
Wow.
Yeah. So I signed up with them. First time I was 31.
So it's never too late?
No, it's never too late.
How about you, Jake? Most memorable?
Well, just to touch on that, yeah, I couldn't imagine the hoops you had to jump through during the pandemic, especially with me in Hawaii trying to go back and forth. I was taking care of my grandfather. My toughest one was my first amateur MMA fight. It was memorable to me because I was running a bar at the time, Crow's Cocktails. I had a tremendous amount of support. I sold like 250 tickets. We had party buses. I mean, packed out. And
amazing.
Yeah, it was just a fun event for all of the, everybody. But leading up to that fight, 5 days, I was getting ready for a striker, and 5 days notice, they called me. They're like, hey, pulled out. I'd already sold my tickets. They offered me to go down a weight class, which was almost nearly unachievable because it was same day weigh-ins. And it was a wrestler, so I didn't really do the whole camp for him. Anyways, I ended up coming short, split decision for that, but just like for an introduction into like a badass fight and like just like balls to the wall, that was for sure cool, and like the support and the experience.
Tell me about your life before being a fighter. I think you mentioned the bar. Yeah, owning the bar, running it.
So I've got a long history in like the restaurant and bar business. I've had a tremendous amount of like construction experience, refrigeration. I mean, I've done everything under the sun in terms of like air conditioning, garage doors, painting. So I spent a lot of time in Hawaii doing those jobs, concrete, whatever it is.
Okay, so you both have a lot of tattoos. Could you tell me which one's your favorite and why?
Vida. Vida is a word, Portuguese word. We speak Portuguese in Brazil. So it's life. But I call my wife Vida. So that's why. Yeah.
Is that her name?
No, Isabella is her name. But I call her Vida.
So sweet.
Yeah, so that's why this one is my favorite one.
How about you, Jake?
Well, I got this piece was a collaboration from Ikaika Mahi and Che Pilago. And what this represents for me, is just like, it was a significant time in my life. Just graduated high school. I was going into college. I was training. Things were just like, life was just beginning for me. So it was like a staple in my life of just a memorable time.
Tell us about your sponsor.
My sponsor?
Yeah, and your experience with them.
BioCells.
Yeah. BioCell RX.
You support me a lot. First of all, we have a special relationship. So we are friends. We talk. That means a lot for me. Not just business, and making me more happy, more,
comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable to represent you, to you guys, to have you guys in my shirt in my shorts at the fight. And once we did some applications in my arm, left arm, and helped me a lot, especially when I wake up. I have an AC joint injury here from more than 10 years, and this get getting worse because I never stop. We always training. He said about our lifestyle, train in the morning, rest, train in the night. Every fighter is like that. So after we do the applications, 1 week, maybe almost 2, I start to wake up with no pain here. With the biocells, I wake up much better, much better. I could move my shoulder, and it's still that was the most difference I felt after take the biocells, And the only thing really works and makes some difference was the stem cells.
And there's no side effects, right?
No.
How about your sponsor, Jake?
Shout out Bio CBD. I'm sure everybody can agree with me when I say it's nice to have a good boss. And like you mentioned, we work together as friends too. And Bio CBD, I'd never put my name on something I don't believe in. But using this with my fight camps, I like it a lot because it relieves my inflammation, makes me feel good. I feel like it's got a lot more benefits than, so I can get this up and take a lot more benefits than I could list for you, but it's kind of becoming like a little bit of a trend online. But Jake 25 for $25 off.
Yeah, it's a pretty good dose. It's the highest medical grade dose available, 6,000 milligrams.
And we got the mint flavor.
You really feel it if you have inflammation. Also helps with anxiety and pain and sleep.
Yeah, calming effects.
Yes. And then with Danilo's stem cell therapy, we focus on quality and safety. And, we have stem cells in our body. We're born with 3 trillion cells. Every 120 days, our stem cells die. So by the time you're 18, you're down to half. So the older we get, we develop disease, we age, cancer, injuries. So we need a little bit of help. And they're cord blood stem cells or newborn stem cells, those same ones you were born with, so it's going to help heal. In the medical field, we recommend 48 hours after getting the stem cell therapy, no physical training, no alcohol, 48 hours, 48. No alcohol, low sodium diet. And the reason why is because those 3 things cause inflammation in the body. So the stem cells, you can't control where they go and heal, but they go towards inflammation. So if you cut out the alcohol, the salt, and the training, they will know where to go and they will know where to repair. So if you can take at least 48 hours just to take it easy and let the stem cells do the work, it's great. Who are you most grateful for in your life and why? If you had to choose one person.
One person? My father, yeah. For sure without him, I never gonna be here. I never gonna went to UFC. And
is he in Brazil?
He's in Brazil. I'm going to visit him in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody's in Brazil. Just me, my wife, and my son live here. Everybody lives in Brazil from São Paulo, from my family. But he supported me since the beginning, since I was a kid. And I said to him, I want to compete in boxing. I wanna be there. He said, all right, let's go. And he always helped me, not just with money, because Brazil was worst. Now is getting much better with the athletes and support the athletes since the high school, like you guys used to do here. I can see with my son, it's very different. Especially in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, if you have money there, you have a very good life. It's an amazing life because we have everything, but it's expensive. It's the same for the schools. Yeah. So if you have money and put your son in a good school, for sure, he's gonna grow in a different way than the most part of the population in São Paulo, in Brazil. So my father, for sure. My father, he helped me a lot, supported me a lot, still with me always, when I have to make a decision. Like now, you were talking about retirement. I don't know if I'm going to retire now or I'm going to do one more year. I have a contract with PFL until the end of the next year. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in the middle of the process, and I always call him and, Father, what do you think? What I have to do? What do you think is the best way now?
That's good.
Yeah, I love him, and he always supports me for sure. For sure, he's the main one.
Wow. Are you taller than him or?
Same.
Same.
6'4", yeah.
That's
but
where you
he's
get your height
skinny.
from.
Yeah, my grandpa too, his father, he was 6'3" or almost 6'4".
Wow.
My family's father, his brothers, and everybody's tall. 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", 6'5".
Next, your son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's see, because my wife is a little short. So, yeah, let's see.
Jake, we want to hear about your favorite person in this world and why.
Yeah. I obviously have to, well, not obviously, but I'd have to say right now, this moment in time, my dad has probably been the biggest factor for me.
He's a big fan.
Yeah, he's a big fan, but he's been there, emotionally for me. Something, that's far and few in between. So I respect that a lot. He comes from an old school, family himself. So,
Where is he from again?
well, he was born in Chicago and, spent a lot of time in Connecticut and California before moving to Hawaii. But like his family were third generation American from Sicily. So, it's the culture changed a bit as it got Americanized, but well, just my dad, he's been able to support me through this career because if you're an athlete, it takes all your effort and then some, and whoever's around you, is usually going to be a big supporter. And I just, there's 100 people to name, but I got to put him up there for right now.
Absolutely, yeah. So Danilo told us that he's taking a little break, going to visit the family in Brazil, and then think about his contract in the PFL, whether or not to continue. Of course, we love watching you.
Thank you.
If you do have another, we follow him everywhere he goes.
Thank you.
Vegas,
Appreciate
New York. Where
you.
was the other one? Cincinnati, Rhode Island. Where did we go the last fight?
The last fight was in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah, I forgot the name. Morrigan Sun.
Yes,
The
yes.
huge casino they have there.
Yeah, my first time there. So
Yeah.
it was exciting. So please let us know if and when we'll be there.
Thank you.
And then Jake, what are we going to look forward to for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I gotta be careful what I say, but we are looking at potential title fight in December. We're gonna see how these next few months play out. I'm gonna probably get into camp beginning of October, and then see. We're in the talks at a couple promotions, and just see who wants the Barbavian on the show. So
Speaking of that, for you, I feel like I get frustrated when your fighters back out. Does that happen a lot or?
I mean, at the beginning, they're like, oh, yeah, this happens to everybody. And then, like, after the 8th or 9th guy to pull out, it's became like a freak situation. I mean, I've had back-to-back fights where guys would just pull out like 2 days before. So then, I come around, stop posting on Instagram. I draw back from different, because it hurts my money,
Yeah.
I spend all this time, and then, I don't know, the guy
Is it because of injury or
there's a lot
they
of
don't
different
want to fight
factors.
you? Or
I've had same guy, I'm not going to say his name, but pulled out like 3 times in a row on me, once in the amateur, 2 in the pro, and it's like, it takes a little bit of a mental, it takes time to understand that that's just how the cookie crumbles. And it will definitely happen again in the future. So it's just like how you react to it, But
wow,
It's part of the game.
hate it.
really, even in UFC and PFL?
Yes. I think the big difference is in the big shows, the consequence for them who are going to pull out, will be the worst for sure.
them.
Because the contract, sponsors, money,
Yeah.
and the reason you are pulling out, the doctor going to check, you have to do exam. It's not too easy to get out,
Yeah.
like in the small shows.
Yeah.
But it still happen.
I really appreciate both of you guys for being here
Thank you.
today and
Thank you.
joining, and I can't wait to see your journey.
Yeah,
I'll be there watching both of you, no matter what.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Thank you for having us.